Alright guys, so finally I'm going to give you an update on my projector. It's about time. I've been postponing it for a little bit. I've had this projector here for a little over a year now. I think I bought it in July of last year, so a little over a year now. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on what do I think about this projector and what do I think about cheap Chinese affordable projectors. Are they worth it or are they not worth it? I'm going to answer that as well. All right, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. So let's get started. So this right here is the Excel Van Q7 World Cup Memorial Edition. All right, and this came out, of course, for the 2018 Russia. As you can see it right here, it's got the little logo right there. This is a very, very nice looking projector. If you look at it, it's got the white with the silver going on at the top right here. This thing just looks pretty sexy. It looks pretty nice. Very beautiful looking projector here. When I first got it, I was really impressed by it because the one that I had before was a lot more cheap. But I was also really impressed with the vivid picture that it has. It has the vivid option. It just really brightens the screen even more. And it helps a lot more with the ambient light, especially with the animated movies. It looks really great on vivid mode. That's why I really like this projector. So I was initially very impressed by it when I first got it. And I did do a review video of it when I first got it. But I guess I had too much blocked content on there, so it was blocked in a whole bunch of freaking countries. I think I might go back and edit those parts out if YouTube will let me. I think YouTube's got like a little editing thing. If it allow me to do that, I'll re-upload that one so you guys can take a look and just delete those parts. But anyway, this was my second projector that I've ever owned here. I was actually very impressed with my first projector as well. That one only cost 60 bucks. This one was a lot more expensive. This one was actually, the regular price for this was 170, but I had a discount on it and I got it down to, I believe, 130, 140, something like that. So I decided to just pull the trigger and just go for it. But like I said, I was initially impressed with it. Now, here are my thoughts. So after a year, well, I would have to say maybe about 7 months in, somewhere around there, this projector started failing me a little bit. And that mostly had to do with the light bulb. So this light bulb right here apparently is a really cheap one because I'm going to show you an example a little bit on the screen. It's got a big dark spot in it, so it's starting to burn out. It's not on the outside. I tried cleaning it, wiping it off, and it just won't wipe off. So it's definitely in the inside. It's starting to burn off. So that freaking sucks. It doesn't give me too much problems when I'm watching movies, but I do have to say that definitely the white pictures. For example, if I have a movie and there's a scene where it just deals like completely snow and it's all white, you can big time definitely notice that freaking dark spot right there. And I'm going to show you guys in a second here. That's when it becomes a problem, when it's like a complete white screen and you can see that freaking annoying dark spot. It just pops out and you're just like, oh, that's not very pleasing to watch. So yeah, that was a big letdown. I mean, I didn't even have it for a year yet and the light bulb was already burning out. This was supposed to last, I believe, 15,000 hours or something like that. I do want to point out though that this thing here gets a lot of freaking play. I don't watch TV. I just don't watch TV. I do have a TV in my room. Very rarely do I turn it on. I really only turn it on for like sports games or maybe to watch the news, you know, from time to time. But other than that, pretty much all I do is just watch movies. I rarely watch TV. I watch movies every day. Every day. I have a whole bunch of movies, and you know, I just rewatch them. I love my collection, and I'm always rewatching them, and I'm always buying new movies, doing a movie hunting, buying new releases and stuff like that. But a typical day here in the room, I come home from work and I don't turn on the TV. I just put a movie on. That's why this thing gets a lot of play. Now, I didn't count the hours, obviously, but if I had to guess, I would say at least 2 movies per day. At least 2 movies per day. At least on my working days. But for sure, at least 2 movies a day. Which might not seem a lot, but that's maybe like 4 hours a day. So for 4 hours a day, for 7 months or so, this thing just couldn't handle it anymore, and it started to burn out. And I'm gonna give you an example of that right now. Check this out. Alright guys, so here we have a scene from The Revenant on Blu-ray. All snow all around, and as you can see, there's that big dark spot right there in the middle where the avalanche is coming down. That thing is so freaking annoying, and like I said, it's very noticeable when you have a white background, like a scene where there's a whole bunch of snow and the picture is pretty much like all white. You guys just see it right there. It's pretty freaking annoying. Alright guys, another problem that I've encountered with this projector here specifically is the picture. Sometimes I get like a little staticky white lines on it. It's weird. I don't know what the hell's going on, but that right there is another problem that I've encountered, but it doesn't happen normally. It just pops up like from time to time. It's not like a normal thing, but it is freaking annoying. Having to watch a movie like that with like a whole bunch of staticky lines, and yeah, I have to keep turning it off and then turning it back on, hoping that thing just disappears. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Let me show you what I mean. Alright guys, so here's the other problem that I've been encountering. You get these weird like staticky white lines that appear out of nowhere. Let me get a closer look here. So you guys can see this right here. This tends to happen from time to time. Now, I used to think that it was my old Blu-ray player, that maybe it was dirty or it just didn't work anymore. But it can't be that, because I have a brand new DVD player here. You can't really see it. But this is my new DVD player and Blu-ray player. So I'm guessing it's the projector itself that's bad and not the actual disc player. So that's one problem that I have to deal with too from time to time. Alright guys, and now for the third problem that I've encountered with this is the other downside to this projector. Now that I'm showing you this back area here are the inputs. It's only got 2 HDMIs, 2 USBs in this computer thing here, and 2 for the headphones for the sound. But as far as sound, it doesn't have like a coaxial or anything like that. It doesn't come with a coaxial input or an optical input for the sound, which is pretty common for most projectors, at least for the low market end. For the cheap projectors, they just don't add like inputs for sound really. All you get is like a little headphone jack here. And if you guys want to know more about that as far as this projector, you guys can check out my other videos that I've uploaded as far as like projector sound problems and stuff. You guys can find those on my channel if you guys want more in-depth information on that. But yeah, for the most part here, you are gonna have maybe some sound problems as far as connectivity. How am I gonna connect, you know, a sound bar to it, you know, my sound system and stuff like that. There are different solutions, like a little audio converter box, which I do have here, and you can watch my other videos if you guys are interested in looking into that. So those right there are the problems that I've encountered with this projector, and like I said, I've only had it for a little over a year now. I was expecting it to last me at least 3 years, but it didn't really like last over a year before it started failing. Like I said, right now I'm using it. I'm okay with it now, but I am looking to upgrade. I'm gonna be upgrading really soon now, but this time I'm not gonna go with a cheap Chinese version. I want to go with a high-end brand like maybe BenQ, Optima, Epson, Sony, whatever it is. But I definitely need to upgrade now, and I'm actually looking to get into maybe a 3D projector. I really want to see what that experience is like. I know nobody went for the 3D TVs. Those are kind of like dying, or they're already dead. But there's still 3D projectors out there, and I do want to check those out. Maybe I might pick one of those up, or maybe an ultra short throw projector. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm gonna wait till Black Friday so those prices can go down and I can get a good deal. So within 2 months or so, I am gonna be upgrading, so watch out for that, and I will do a review of my new projector at that time. All right, so those were the problems right there. The bulb started to burn out very quickly. It didn't really even last a year on me, so that was a big bummer. That kind of sucked right there. Also the staticky effect that I got, sometimes that one comes and goes, but still that's just a big no-no for me. Also the sound inputs, you know, these cheap projectors don't have very good sound inputs, so you kind of have to do some research and check to see how you can connect like maybe a sound bar, or you know, whatever it is, a sound system externally to it, because this one only comes with a headphone jack, and yeah, it's just not that good. There's no optical inputs, no coaxial inputs, nothing like that. But you can still get around that, as you can see with my other videos with sound problems. I still found a way, but I'm still having a hard time with my PS4. I have to buy a different set of speakers for the PS4, but that's because the PS4 that I have, the slim version, the PS4 slim version does not come with the optical. I believe the PS4, the regular one, does, but for some reason the slim version, they decided to take that out. If they were to put that in, I could have used my soundbar. But because of that, I had to find a way around, and I actually had to buy a different set of computer speakers and connect them to the headphone jack to the projector here, and that's how I play my PS4. But yeah, things like that, like sound problems like that, you can still get around them. Like for example, the Xbox One that I bought. That one did have an optical input in it, so I had no problem connecting my soundbar to it. So no problems there, and I could still project it onto the screen and get the sound coming out of the soundbar, no problems. So you can still get around these problems for sound. So it's not that big of a deal, but I really would prefer if a projector itself did include actual sound inputs, like better ones. So those were the big problems, really. Nothing really else that I can think of. So what do I think now? What do I think about these cheap end, lower market projectors? You might be surprised, but I would actually recommend them. And this is why. For a first time buyer for projectors, if you're gonna buy a projector for the first time, I would say try out a low end, a cheap one that has good reviews. You can go on YouTube, there's a whole bunch of reviews on cheap projectors. The first projector I ever got was a mini projector. I think it was the GP80 or something like that. I also have a review on that on my channel if you want to check it out. I was really impressed by that one, and even for gaming, that one was really good for gaming, low input lag. This one too was good for gaming, low input lag. The only problem that I had with that first mini projector was the motion blur, and that's something that really should have been taken care of like in the assembly line or whatever before actually shipping that projector out. I really just do think I might have just got like a defective one. But yeah, definitely I do want to point out that for gaming I did not get any motion blur. That was kind of weird. But for movies, when you got like a lot of stuff moving around, you get like all this motion blur. It just looks horrible with like lines coming through. It just doesn't look good. So that's the only downside, but you know, it was 60 bucks. And for the most part, I really did enjoy that. Hopefully if you guys order one, you won't get a defective one. I really truly thought that I got a defective one. That's all it was. But 60 bucks, you can't go wrong with that. It'll allow you to play with it a little bit. Where do I place it in my house, in my room, wherever it is you're gonna put it? You gotta look at the range, right? Where am I gonna place it? How big of an image do I wanna get? And stuff like that. I mean, if you pay 60 bucks, it's totally worth it. Cause now you've got a cheap projector. You now know where it's gonna work the best for you in your house, in your room, in your living room, wherever, and how big you want the screen. And you did all that for 60 bucks, right? You are gonna get a pretty good experience buying these little cheap projectors for the first time. You're gonna be impressed. Trust me, you're gonna be really impressed. Because you're gonna go from a little TV to this huge freaking image, and then once you get tired of it, upgrade. Just upgrade to something bigger, but don't do what I did. Don't get another low-end market one. Get something in the high end. I would say like 400 and above. This one was 200 and down. The other one was 60 bucks. This was 130. So I would say I definitely do recommend these for the first time users. That's it. If you've owned a projector before and you're thinking of going the cheap way, don't get one of these, trust me, because in the long run, it's just not gonna be worth it in my opinion. This is from my personal experience. I'm already tired of this one. I'm still cool with it, kind of, you know, I can bear with it for another 2 months till Black Friday, till I get a brand new one. But for now, you know, I would have to say, yes, I do recommend it, but I am going to upgrade. And like I said, I was expecting this thing to last me at least 3 years, but it didn't. All right, guys, so that was my honest opinion after a year of owning this projector here. That's my opinion on cheap projectors. I highly recommend you get one for the first time buyers. It'll be worth it, trust me. I wouldn't spend more than 120 though. I think that's a reasonable price. Spend mostly 120, you'll be all right. It's not gonna hurt you as much. You won't feel guilty, trust me. But this is a really good option for when you're first starting out. That's my honest opinion. All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for me in this video. Hopefully that'll help you out selecting projectors. Like I said before, first time users, you'll be okay. But yeah, go out, watch some movies, get some popcorn. Peace.